Years, there have been complaints, mostly from minority communities, about alleged police brutality. The dramatic videotape of the Rodney King beating has intensified that outcry. An unarmed black man clubbed and stomped by white police officers.
A video captured by chance, evoking outrage and a sense of relief.
It was affirming what we knew. This was the first time that we could say, I told you.
Felt like now there is accountability. There is a video.
A moment that forever changed a city.
All 4 officers are accused of 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon.
It was the first time the brutality like that was caught on camera.
Yet in some eyes, changed nothing at all.
We, the jury,
all the officers were acquitted. That's when the uprising occurred.
We're in Florence and Vermont. Fires on every side.
There was gatherings all throughout LA, and people couldn't believe it. Because we want to believe in our justice system. We want to believe that it'll work.
Greg Akili has spent the last 50 years organizing for social justice.
What we see in 92 and what we see in 2021 is the same. The outrage, the disgust, the anger. What you saw in the eyes of that officer who's on trial now is an unwillingness to accept the humanity of George Floyd. They didn't see Rodney King as human.
Demands for change in 92 echo those today.
We pay a heavy price with our deaths to wake up the rest of America.
While hopeful for a different outcome today, he's not expecting one.
If the police officers who beat Rodney King were let off, then that can certainly happen again in Minnesota.
I would certainly be disappointed, but I would not be surprised.
But unlike 1992, those demanding change are more organized.
Those demands around justice, inclusion, and reparations are now being pushed forward.
With Black Lives Matter galvanizing people of all races across generations.
More and more people are recognizing that there are some things that need to be reformed.
What the Floyd murder did for the rest of America, particularly white America, was tap into the outrage and disgust that we have.
I think there will be change, but it's a long ways. I don't know if I'll see it.
This is more than a moment.
In Los Angeles,
this is a movement.
I'm Amanda Brandeis.
Now you can watch live coverage of the entire trial on Court TV. That's on KTNV's digital channel 13.4 and all streaming devices. Well, it's been another busy weekend in Las Vegas, and our COVID trends remain on a downward trend. Our 2-week positivity rate is now 4.3%. 5% is what the World Health Organization considers to have the virus under control. Since yesterday, 143 new cases were reported, the state reporting 0 new deaths since yesterday. Well, it's officially spring and the temperatures are certainly warming up, and as some pools reopen, others are being put on notice. 13 Action News reporter Sean Delancey shows you what pool season looks like a year into the pandemic.
We are starting to see perfect pool weather, and it is showing from Cowabunga Bay opening in Henderson all the way right here to busy scenes at MGM, way down to the brand new Circa Stadium swim. People are obviously eager to get back in the water. The coronavirus, however, doesn't care if it's getting warm enough to take a dip. Gaming regulators sent a letter to casinos with pools this week, reminding them that they have to follow all COVID protocols, even as people rush to Las Vegas for spring break and March Madness celebrations. That includes 50% capacity, 6 feet social distancing at all times, and wearing masks whenever you're not eating, drinking, or swimming. Cowabunga Bay owner Shane Huish says that they are dedicated to doing it right as they open and going above and beyond for employees.
We are still operating under all of the COVID protocols that we operated under last year, which include social distancing, wearing face masks, extra sanitization. We temp check and health check all of our employees as they come in, and we have additional signage and reminders for everybody around the park.
The reminder from gaming regulators warned casino operators that while transmission rates have been steadily dropping, the risk of more contagious variants is still a dangerous threat that could set us back. And many hospitality workers have not yet been vaccinated and are still at risk. Cowabunga Bay says that they plan to stay open through August 5th. Sean Delancey, 13 Action News.
Well, most people are excited to get their COVID-19 vaccine, but there are some that are more hesitant because of needle phobia. All new at 6, we'll tell you what you can do to overcome the fear. And a little hope on the COVID front. A couple separated because of the pandemic reunited for the first time in a year. Plus, gas prices on the rise. What's fueling the trend, and will it continue? A breaking news update on the active shooter in the Everglades National Park in Florida. The Park Service just saying the suspected gunman has been caught. So authorities said previously there were no injuries. Now, once we get any updates on this story, we will pass it along both on air and online. Well, new at 6, people with a fear of needles, this story is for you. So first, know that you are not alone. A new study shows that even healthcare workers can sometimes be uncomfortable around needles. Doug Reardon tells you one expert is imploring you to overcome your phobia and get the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, we did not put any images of those needles into this story, so you can watch in peace.
A new study from the University of Michigan shows 8% of healthcare workers in hospitals, 18% of long-term care facility workers, and 16% of American adults at large avoid their flu shot because of fear of needles, and that's true for almost all vaccines. Janine Guidry, an expert in the field of health communications, really wasn't surprised by the data, and she does understand the fear.
I am personally not scared of a vaccine, but if you show me a vaccine where the syringe is about this big, it makes me kind of go, really? That's really what you want to, that makes me queasy a little bit.
She studied this herself and says it is a really tough time for people with needle phobia.
One of the things we've noticed is that whenever people are talking about vaccines online, a lot of times if they include a visual, they include a visual of a needle.
Even publishers of misinformation are taking advantage.
A lot of times those type of misinformation also include images of very big vaccines, exaggerated syringes.
The images we see in ads, on our phones, and even on the news can dictate what we do, and Janine worries all these images of needles will be a tipping point for people who are already hesitant about the COVID vaccine.
For most people, that may not be an issue, but if you get someone who's vaccine hesitant and has needle phobia, that may be something that makes them take another step or not make that call or say, I'll wait, and that waiting may be too long.
That was Doug Reardon reporting. And for needle phobics, if you can try desensitizing yourself by looking at pictures of needles or maybe even try holding one for a bit, you can also listen to music while you get your vaccines. Well, as we head into spring and summer, expect gas prices to rise faster than the temperatures. According to Gas Buddy, the national average price for a gallon of gas is hovering around $2.85. That's 60 cents higher than just 3 months ago, and it's a full dollar above the low during this pandemic.
At some point this summer, we could see a national average of $3 a gallon.
Now, here in Nevada, AAA says the average cost of gas is $3.30, almost 50 cents more than the national average. Gas prices typically climb heading into the summer months when more Americans are traveling. But this year, experts expect a bigger spike as more people get vaccinated and go on the trips that they maybe have been putting off for more than a year. So more drivers on the road mean more demand for gas, which could send prices even higher. And it could take oil suppliers some time to catch up after they cut back production during the pandemic. Well, another Sunday afternoon backup on the I-15 heading back to California. So on the left is a live look at current traffic conditions, and on the right is what it looked like earlier today. At some point, the RTC reported a 17-mile backup. And one of our producers also says that there's a major backup on the California side between Baker and Barstow. So, Bree, we again can be thankful that we're not stuck in that traffic right now, but also thankful that so many people were in town this weekend.
Right, and it was a gorgeous weekend to be here, and it's still gorgeous outside, really quiet here across the region, and high pressure still controlling the pattern, but we do have to keep our eye out on this developing energy that's pushing off of the west coast. It is going to gradually make its way southeastward across the valley. That's going to cool us down quite a bit heading into Tuesday, but first we gotta warm up heading into Monday. So we're just going to continue to climb here. Wind speeds now calm, but heading into tomorrow, that's when they will start to pick up again. Weather headlines though, steamy start above average for the 80s on Monday. Quick cool down for Tuesday though. We drop about 15 degrees and winds between 25 to 30 miles per hour. A sunny week ahead, though. We don't really have to deal with the wings for too long. Late winds, late week, and those 80s come back again. Temperatures now sitting in the mid-70s. North Las Vegas at 78. Tonight's planner dropping down to lows. Low to mid 50s, clear skies. Winds will remain light here overnight and even for early tomorrow, but they will start to pick up here during the afternoon. Futurecast temperatures Monday around 4 p.m. during the afternoon, we're reaching the 80s, but then this cold front passes through and we cool down quite a bit. Highs just reached the mid to upper 60s across the valley. 7-day planner, 83 for the high for your Monday. Breezy, windy on Tuesday, 68. We rebound though quickly for Wednesday, 73. Sunny skies here, so we don't really have to deal with too many clouds. 80 for the high on Thursday, and then we're pushing the mid 80s on Friday, and then even 87 for the high it's looking like for next weekend. On Saturday, breezy conditions though return to the region. Sunday, staying in the mid-80s, so we do have a steamy late half of the week and a steamy beginning, too. We just have a cooler day there Tuesday and even into Wednesday.
Yeah, certainly a warm week ahead. All right, a year in the making. A couple married for 72 years, finally reunited after being separated during the pandemic. Next tonight, the heartwarming reunion. You will not want to miss this.
We want to find cancer early when it can be treated and cured. We also don't want to have a lot of what we refer to as false positive exams.
Monday on Good Morning Las Vegas, the side effect the COVID-19 vaccine can cause and why doctors are warning about false positive cancer scares.
Join us for the latest news, weather, and traffic tomorrow on Good Morning Las Vegas from 4:30 to 7 a.m. You can also watch us anytime on your favorite streaming device or with our KTNV News app.
New at 6, when nursing homes closed their doors to outside visitors, it meant loved ones could no longer see the elderly. But now that people are getting vaccinated, the long-awaited reunions are here. Reporter Leah Pizzetti shows you the moment a couple married for more than 70 years finally embraces once again.
Oh, there it goes.
Like he does every day.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Roberta. Hey, hi there.
Francis Doran has his morning call with his wife of 72 years.
I see you got your angel hat on. That's beautiful. I like that one.
This is one of their many calls throughout the day, calls they've done for the past year.
That'd be a long time since we held hands.
Francis sits in the Chula Vista home they've owned for 66 years. Roberta is talking from Sharp's Birch Patrick Skilled Nursing Facility, where she's lived for 3 years. The first 2 years she was there.
I saw her from 6:30 in the morning to 6 at night. 7 days a week. I went there every day.
But that stopped when the pandemic started. So now this is how they see each other.
I like this face-to-face because it makes me feel like I'm close to you.
With the distance, time has become more precious as Roberta's memories slowly fade away.
The closer I can be with her, next to her, I think the more memory I can bring her out. Yeah, because she's losing her memory more often because I'm not there.
Which is why this call is so special. It's their last call before getting to embrace each other for the first time in 1 year.
And one thing I can do tomorrow is I can hold her hand. And I think they said I might be able to hug her a little bit.
He's been doing his best to talk about her lifelong passions like music.
He used to sing to me all the time.
But he worries that as their time apart grows, so does the dementia.
That hurts quite a bit of a memory, I think. That's why I'm afraid that's beginning to so I'm hoping that once I get to see her more often, we can bring her memory back.
So with their final virtual embrace before the reunion.
Okay.
Here's a big kiss.
Okay.
Remember,
okay.
I love you very much, okay? Remember that.
He's hoping that this is the last day of her slipping, and tomorrow brings the start of keeping her here. Just about 24 hours later, and the moment has arrived.
There you are.
Wasting no time.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Roberta.
They embrace. And it's like they never were apart. With physical distance no longer a concern, they sit and talk.
To show that how happy I am to see you again, be able to come and visit you at least for a little while. Not as often as I like to, but it's going to work out okay.
Cherishing these precious moments together, marking a new chapter in their long book of marriage.
Things aren't that bad. There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
After a hard year, this time together, these simple embraces were worth the wait.
There's a very, very good day, yes.
Leah Pizzetti, 13 Action News.
And isn't it beautiful to know that love like that exists in our world? So beautiful. The pandemic continues with health experts worried about another surge in cases. But should Nevada be worried as well? We'll show you the cases next. And it's a scam that's breaking both hearts and stealing money. Crooks are ripping people off trying to buy a puppy online. We'll tell you how they do it. According to the CDC, more than 50 million people are now fully vaccinated. More than 90 million have received at least one dose. But some states are still seeing an increase in COVID-19 cases. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze reports on new concerns of another surge.
President Biden receiving high marks in the latest ABC News Ipsos poll on some of his top priorities. More than 72% of Americans approve of his handling of the coronavirus pandemic. 75% approve of his handling of vaccine distribution. The White House says nearly 3.5 million shots were administered on Saturday, a one-day record. But even as vaccine distribution ramps up, at least 22 states are seeing a rise in the number of new cases. The nation averaging nearly 59,000 new infections every day.
If people just put aside all public health measures, namely put the masks aside, go to bars, go to restaurants, you're going to see a surge. And that's really a big problem.
84-year-old Anne Marie Timmons getting to hug her daughter for the first time in a year. Both of them now fully vaccinated.
Felt so great. It was like a new life.
Health experts say going forward, we could see more scenes like this.
We're not going to get to zero risk. But at that point, when people are fully vaccinated, mingling with a family that's not, there's really a very, very low risk that anything bad is going to happen.
Some colleges will require students to be vaccinated if they want to return to campus. The University of Notre Dame in Indiana going a step further, setting up a vaccination center on campus for students and staff. And as more people get vaccinated, travel is on the rise. In 2019, the TSA screened between 1.8 and 2.5 million people per day. After a year of sharp declines, this past Friday, more than 1.5 million travelers passed through airport checkpoints. Police in Miami Beach enforcing an 8 p.m. curfew to help control spring break crowds.
The city of Miami Beach is currently under a state of emergency.
Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Here in Nevada, COVID markers continue on a downward trend. The state is reporting a daily average of fewer than 200 cases. Now, we haven't seen that since the middle of June. And the positivity rate continues to fall as well. It's now at 4.3%. Let's bring in meteorologist Bree Guy. Bree, like we said before, beautiful day outside today.
Yes, picture perfect, and definitely the day to maybe throw the jacket in the closet because it was very warm outside. No clouds in sight, bright blue skies out of our Mandalay weather camera. Right now, very quiet across the region. Temperatures now, we're still hanging on to those upper 70s, 77 in Las Vegas, 79 in Pahrump, 80 in Overton. Tonight, though, light winds, clear skies, 53. We're dropping down to for our low. Light winds for now coming in from the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Getting outside, though, for tomorrow. Pollen very high, mulberry ash, juniper, and then UV index very high too, so protection is needed.
Well, a new puppy is a great way to bring some love and joy into any home, but beware. Tonight, a warning about scammers taking advantage of those in search of a four-legged friend.
I was just so excited because I was going to get a puppy.
Linda Trantham can't believe she fell for it. Someone took advantage of her, and she's out $500. It all started back in December when Linda had to say goodbye to her 12-year-old golden retriever.
It really broke my heart because I've always had dogs almost my entire life.
She was hoping to adopt another golden retriever, but didn't have any luck at local shelters. So Linda searched online and found exactly what she was looking for.
It was apparently 8 weeks old and located in Los Angeles, California.
She called the breeder right away and found out he only had one puppy left from the litter. Linda knew she had to act fast.
I jumped in the car the same day.
But the drive ended on a sour note.
I drove up there only to find out that there was no puppy.
The address Linda had led to an unoccupied house for sale. She tried reaching out to the breeder, but he stopped communicating.
I was angry, but I was sad because I think I was more sad about not getting the puppy.
Good rule of thumb. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
The Better Business Bureau says thousands of Americans fall for online pet scams every year. Victims are young and old, but the majority are in their 20s and 30s. Crooks typically lure their victims with cute pictures and videos stolen from other websites.
Consumers really should take a good close look at that. If they are seeing the same puppy, the same pictures of puppies, then yeah, it's probably a fraudulent site.
The BBB recommends doing your research with the help of sites like petscams.com. You can also check with the Humane Society for ways to identify legitimate breeders. Along with cute images, scammers typically offer what seems like a good deal.
That's a great tactic, to get somebody to go, oh my goodness, only $500 for this puppy, sold.
If you decide to do business with someone you found online,